Do you ever regret to exit your trade too early and miss out a lot of the potential profit ahead? Well, I certainly do. And in fact, a lot of the times that I also think about that instead of getting 3, 4 or even 5 reward to risk ratio, and I end up getting only 1 or 1.5 reward to risk ratio, or even worse, sometimes it's less than 1. So in this video, I am going to share with you a simple trade management strategy that I use to maximize the profits with a peace of mind without really taking excessive risk in the trade review section. Hi, my name is Ming Jong and welcome to the market analysis video that's for the session of 15th of September. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the market recap during the last session, the trade review in the 3 minutes time frame, which I will include the entry, the exits, and also the rationale behind. And of course, I will be sharing with you my trading plan and also the market outlook for the session later. Alright, so let's just get started. So as we can see in this daily chart, yesterday, as we expected, is another bullish day, and finally it's a bullish day. And after this shortening of the trust, losing the down momentum, and yesterday the bull is finally performing. So we see a relatively high volume and with a bullish action right here. So let me just get down to the hourly time frame and let's talk more on what's happening for the yesterday's session. So as you can see in this hourly chart, so just prior to the US opening session here at about 9:30 p.m. my time zone, prior to that we have seen a nice rally up during the non-regular trading hours during the Asian throughout the London European session. And subsequently we have the mild reaction here, tested the previous day high here. So you can see that I have drawn the orange line here. That's the previous day high on last Friday here. So the day high, and it's just tested and rebounded. And during the US opening session at about 9:30 p.m. and we have seen a relatively nice run up. But it actually stopped at a reasonable place at around 33.90 and 33.80. So this is the resistance zone, which I already mentioned in my video yesterday. So it didn't really maintain and commit above this resistance zone. So have another reaction down, and currently we are just attempt to overtake or commit above the resistance zone again. So regarding the current market condition, I will just elaborate a bit more in the later part of the video. First of all, let me just get down to the 3 minutes time frame, because I would like to show you a trade, and also most importantly I would like to show you how I actually manage the trade to actually maximize the profits. So instead of getting just 1 or even I think it's less than 2, I'll be maximize the profits while not taking excessive risk. Alright, so this is the 3 minutes time frame, and let me just zoom out a little bit to give a bit of the context here. So just prior to my entry right here, so you can see that we have a relatively nice run up. That's during the Asian time zone, and here is the European London session, and here comes the reaction. So here's the reaction, and if you remember my video on yesterday, I do talk about potential long entry after we tested this orange line about 33.60. And also you need to remember that often that either resistance or support, they are more likely to represent as an area rather than a single line. So this is how I'll be looking at this area or this level 33.60. Alright, so let me just zoom in a bit more here so you can just take a look here, and together with the volume as well. So you can see that the first reaction down comes with the increasing of the supply level. So we have this reaction down that comes with the increasing of the supply, and subsequently the rally is just very weak. Instead of having a rally up, it's just kind of have a horizontal type of the consolidation, and subsequently we have another leg down, and that's the continuation of the downtrend. Overall, the supply level is still relatively high, but if we compare to this first reaction, the supply has been decreasing slightly. And one thing to take note here is actually to pay attention to the volume here and also the spread during this leg down. So definitely there is a shortening of the thrust, and suggests that the down momentum is fading, and that corresponds nicely within this supporting area at around 33.60. So with the shortening of the thrust suggests that the down momentum is fading. Here comes the rally with the very nice volume. The demand is coming in, and here is a rally up. So because the supply level is still relatively high, despite that we have a decreasing of the supply in terms of comparing these two downswings, but still it's still relatively high. So I just waited for another test of this reaction. So what I would like to see is actually a higher low form together with the decreasing of the supply level, which it did show up here. You might notice there's a spike of the red volume bar here. Let me explain a bit here, because this is also another clue for me to take the long entry right here. So you can see that this reaction is actually a test of the previous leg down. So in terms of the volume, definitely has been decreasing. And if we just zoom into just focusing on these two bearish bar, definitely you see that volume increasing on the second bar. But what's the result? The result is actually a small spread bar and also a little bit of the demand tail. So a lot of the effort, increasing effort, try to push the price down. So instead of having a huge spread, at least comparable to the first candle like this, we're getting a smaller spread candle here. So this suggested that there is a presence of the demand right here. So what I would like to see is actually to wait for the confirmation bar, which actually comes 2 bar next. So this is the confirmation bar for me to enter the long entry. And right after I enter the long entry, here's my stop, just slightly below the previous swing low here. And subsequently, I just lock in my profits at the previous resistance zone here. So I think it's a logical place to take some profit off. And apart from that, if we just take a look at these two bullish bar, let me just delete this first. So these two bullish bar and compare the volume, you'll notice that effort versus results, the Wyckoff law, suggests that there's presence of the supply here. So with a similar effort to push price up, yet we're getting a small spread bar here. So definitely there's presence of the supply. So despite having that, I did not really wait for the confirmation. I just exited right after the close of this bar, because there's a few reasons. First, this is the resistance and it's a logical place for me to take some profit out. So I just scale out my trade, left half of my position. And second, and which is the important thing that I would like to talk about, regarding the trade management strategy, because often that we would like to maximize the profit as much as possible. So you can see that in this trade, I think it's roughly around 2. So the reward to risk ratio is around 2. What I would usually do is actually to scale out my trade at a logical place, and then to left about 50% or 1/3 or sometimes 2/3 of my position to see if I can just maximize the profit and to wait until the US session. So you can notice that during the US session, we have a test right at this level again, the 3360 area, the orange level, and subsequently we have this reversal type of bars and go up nicely with a strong up momentum. So although I did not actually open up new trade right here, because sometimes I just couldn't find a suitable entry for me to enter a long position during the US session. So with the other half of my position I kept during the London session, it's very nice that I can actually just trail my stop and eventually I can just enjoy this nice run up. So eventually I exited, it's actually stopped out right here, just at this bearish bar. So I just trail below this commitment bar here. So roughly you can see that the reward to risk ratio bump up from 2 to 6. So even though I still left only half size, still net reward to risk ratio will be around 4. So definitely significantly increase my profits. So this is a very simple way to manage the trade. So instead of keeping the full size, I just scale out partial of my position. So even if the US session just goes against my trade, for example, if it just fail right here to have a breakdown and then eventually just stop me out, but that's still okay because ultimately I still risking about 1 hour. So the maximum that I can lose is only a reward to risk ratio of about 1. I never just move my stop. So I already locked in the partial profit here at 2. So overall I still have reward to risk ratio of 1 even I get stopped out in this trade. So I think it's quite important to lock in some profit, so at least I'll be very comfortable to hold on my trade without fearing that I end up have a losing position. So I think in terms of the psychological aspect, it's very comfortable to manage the trade ahead, to trail the stop and ride the profit. So that is my trade management strategy. It's a very simple way, and I think it's a very conservative way as well, because usually when we lock in a profit, then that's the profit in the pocket already, and we can just do whatever left on the table and to maximize the profit. And what's the worst that can come? I mean, if we just want to manage the trade a bit better, I can also, okay, one thing that I forgot to mention is I actually just move the stop right after the swing low is formed. So I just move my stop somewhere around here. So that's very close to break even here. So eventually with the break even mindset, then I will be very easy to ride the profit as much as possible, to trail it up, so I can definitely maximize the profit. Alright, so that's the trade review. Let me just see if I can get any trade out during the US session. Okay, I think this is the only trade that I'm going to review. And let me just get down to the hourly time frame and let's talk more on the current market condition. So we talk about potential bullish scenario to have the continuation of the upswing here. So, but first of all, let me just take a look right here. I think there's a few things that stands out. First thing is we are still right at the resistance area, so it's around 3380. So we are just still at the resistance area, and until we can have a clean break of the previous day high, I think we'll just see this kind of the tight consolidation. But let me just have a quick markup here. So what I usually do is I like to mark the previous day high, day low, and also the non-RTH high and non-RTH low, because that will actually forms the battleground for me, and that's the important level to watch as well. So usually you will find that a lot of times the price likely to bounce up, down, and to interact with the previous day low and high, and also the Globex low and high as well. So definitely the previous day high will definitely form some kind of the resistance level, so need to break above, maybe have a retest going up, then that could form a nice long entry. Otherwise, if it just can have a bit of the retracement, test the low here, rebound, and then that could be another kind of the entry. So as long as we stay above the support area, so let me zoom out a little bit here. So the support area that I'm looking at is somewhere around 3350 to 3360. So this is the support area zone that I'm looking at. So as long as it can stay above, I think that we definitely have a chance to see further move to test the swing high level at 3420 and further at 3450. So another things that stands out, I think we have another downtrend line here. So let me just draw this up. Oh, sorry about that. Let me clean this. Okay, so I think we have another downtrend line right here. So that could provide some kind of the resistance, and we just need to break the downtrend and break the swing high level at around 3390, and then we can see further upside target at around 3425 and around 3450 as well. So the immediate support level definitely is around 3350 to 3360. So anything above, then I will be bullish. If we just break below the support level, then I think we'll just need to wait for more price action, and you can just spend more time and test the low here again, the 3300 level, which is a very strong level at the moment. So if we break the immediate support level, then you could just get back and test the 3300 level. Alright, so I think this is my trading plan for today's session. Looking for long somewhere around the support area, or if you can just break out, then definitely wait for a retest somewhere around the level 3390. Alright, so this is the end of the video. Hope you enjoy and get something useful out from the video. So if you like the video, just click like and also hover to my name or picture to follow me. Do remember to subscribe to my channel so that you get instant notification of my future video ideas. So as usual, if you have any kind of the comments, suggestions, or trade ideas you'd like to share with me, feel free to comment it below. I will reply to you. And thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.